In this episode, our Ken Thought crosses the Mexican border to drive UTVs in the world-famous Cabo San Lucas with friends. Our crew also tests the very versatile Sunlight 14 THX toy hauler trailer and meet up with Michael Ladden and his new base camp setup for his world-famous Drive the Globe Expedition rig. It's all coming up next on Off-Road Travel TV.
Off-Road Travel TV. Presented by Progressive. Progressive insures over 8.9 million boats, motorcycles, snowmobiles, and RVs throughout America. MX and off-road tours. Adventure done right. Overland Expo. The world's premier event series for adventure travel enthusiasts. And by Expedition One. Built for adventure. Built in the USA.
Last year, our Ken Thought hit Baja to ride dirt bikes on the beach in Cabo San Lucas with a tour company called Baja Ride. This time he's going back with friends to drive UTVs on more of a tourist type adventure, but it ranked high with an overall fun factor.
I go to Cabo so much that my friends and I jokingly call it our international office. I love the weather, the food, the people, the culture, and the overall town. I usually stay near the marina, which is the epicenter of all the tourist activity, and everything is so close that you can pretty much walk to everything you need. On this trip, I invited my friends Brandon Dorr and Aaron Gornick to go drive UTVs and ride ATVs. We've been overlanding together for several years and always seem to have a good time. I selected Real Baja Tours from about a dozen tour companies that operate in this part of Mexico.
Real Baja Tours is one of the companies that is sited in the Pacific side of the ocean, in Migriño side, okay? This is one of the off-road companies that we have on this side that is pretty much one of the youngest ones, but has really hit the industry of off-road. Why is that? Because if you can see and visit us, we have the best equipment compared to all the 10, 15 different companies that there is in Cabo. You can say that we're on the highest rating on the scale. Right here in Real Baja Tours, we have ATVs and we have UTVs so that you guys can have both of the experiences down here in Real Baja, okay? If you want to have a better experience, a little bit more controlled experience, you can be offered on an ATV that you have control pretty much on everything. And if you want something more comfortable and something easier to drive, you have the UTVs, the side-by-sides.
I have been in Cabo for 2 days now, and I've spent the majority of my time ATV and UTVing, and it's been amazing. I've never done anything like this before. I've gone and done glamorous trips before, but never have I ridden an ATV, UTV on the beach. Like literally we're this far from the waves. The waves are crashing right next to us, and we're just driving right through. There were camels, horses, a lot of other ATVs on the beach, and just all of us being together, it was magical.
Driving UTV is a blast, especially on the beach. You've got the sand that's really not that deep, and you just get to go look around, look at the ocean. You just feel like you're doing something so illegal, and yet you're totally allowed to be able to do it here in Mexico. Just makes it all that much more fun.
So I got to drive the ATVs and the UTVs. Honestly, I just love driving anything with wheels, just being out here in nature. Honestly, the UTVs for me right now is something I really enjoy. They got a lot of torque, but they also handle really well and feel really safe. And the tour managers guide you on a really nice tour over here.
The thing I like most is just being able to go out and explore areas that you can't see if you're a normal tourist and you're in a rental car or something like that. We're able to go in the backcountry. We're able to go on some small, rough two-track roads. Nothing crazy, but something that we're able to get out there and enjoy beyond what most people are able to experience. And because we're not in the United States, we're actually able to go a lot faster than you would expect on a tour. They don't have all the safety and insurance requirements and everything else, but still overall I felt really safe.
I really love Cabo as a tourist destination. It is so beautiful here. The people are so much fun, and there's a lot of fun things that you can do. Just Real Baja Tours alone has horseback riding, ATV, and UTV rides. I mean, you can get that in 3 days. You need more time here for sure.
So the tour that we went on was a 4-hour tour, and we got to see beaches, rocks. We also went deep into a village, about 30 or 40 miles into some of the mountains here. And so a little mix of terrain of mountains, nice trails and beaches, and it was really awesome.
The most fun aspect about driving a UTV is the amount of suspension travel they have and the different things that you could hit at higher speeds and feeling very little. Suspension is just incredible, makes for an overall unbelievable ride.
The guides are extremely knowledgeable here. Like, I felt so safe, and I'm so happy because anytime we would get too close or someone was coming by, they'd give us like hand signals to let us know how close to get or whether to slow down. And they took us so many different places. We went to a little town and they gave us kind of like a little bit of information on the town. They were having some sort of fiesta, and they gave us a little rundown of their culture, and it's incredible.
If you decide to go to Cabo, we have a few recommendations. First, stay near the marina area and don't worry about getting a rental car. You can walk everywhere you need to go or take a taxi. We suggest you do some fun tourist activities, which seem to be everywhere. We also recommend that you head into the local neighborhood outside of the tourist area, about a half-mile walking distance, and try eating food with the locals. It's a fraction of the cost of the Marina District and offers a unique third world twist.
I would 100% recommend a tourist to do this, especially if you're a beginner like me. It was nice that they had a lot of different options and I was able to ride alongside my partner, who was a really good driver. I didn't have to drive, but I still got to experience all the fun of it.
So I recommend when you book the tour, just book the longer tour. You're already out here on vacation. Get on the UTVs, go see the beach, go see the backcountry, and also go see all the trails they have to offer.
And I think that's pretty much what gives the people the best experience of having to ride for the waves that we have, the stops that we have, and everything.
For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.
There are a lot of maintenance items that are frequently missed or done incorrectly. Today, we're going to show you 2 tools that will make your life much easier. This is the Stockton wheel truing stand for motorcycles, and it costs $100. It's a tire balancer and truing stand all in one, and it fits most off-road motorcycles, dual sport, and adventure bikes. It only takes about 15 minutes to assemble the stand using basic tools, and it's relatively compact. It comes with very detailed instructions and shows you precisely how to use the top bearing rollers, the lower wheel truing post, and indicator rod. We use this on adventure motorcycles to get rid of the vibration and uneven tire wear. For our smaller dual sport bikes, we mainly use it to keep the wheels straight, as balancing is not much of a concern. Our crew uses this with a Stockton spoke wrench kit. The main shaft of the spoke wrench is CNC machined from 7075A aluminum and comes with 10 interchangeable tips that fit different size spoke nipples. These tips are heat-treated steel and are designed for optimum grip and precise adjustments. We got our set from RevZilla.com, which sells a wide variety of accessories for motorcycles, UTVs, and ATVs. For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you out on the trail.
The decision to do a lot of base camping this year was a wise choice and one we took very seriously. It also gave us more options for trailers like this LITE 14 THX mini toy hauler from Sunset Park RV. Simply put, it's one of the best values we've seen.
We probably looked at over 75 trailers before deciding on this mini toy hauler. We wanted something that was lightweight, had a relatively small footprint, and comforts like air conditioning and heating, a bathroom with a shower, and a small kitchen with a microwave. We wanted all this and a whole lot more, but wanted to keep the budget in the low $20,000 range.
The most unique aspect of this trailer is the fact that it has 2 separate beds. It features a fold-down Murphy bed and also a bed that pops out of the other side. This is extremely efficient, and it comes in handy when sharing the small trailer with a friend.
The trailer also has a retractable awning, solar, and off-road tires and suspension. It's a tad over 16 feet long, about 8 feet wide, and slightly under 10 feet tall. Dry weight is about 2,380 pounds. Our goal was to fit 2 full-size dirt bikes inside, along with enough riding gear to be gone for over a month at a time. We mated this trailer with our Toyota 4Runner that has a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, and it worked out extremely well. For our purposes, we mounted an L-Track system from No Worries Manufacturing. This unique product allowed us to add removable tie-down anchoring points in the floor and maximize space by putting the bikes in backwards. We matched that with a bicycle and dirt bike cargo solution made by a company called Bolt It On. This is our 360 twist kit and it's designed specifically for L-Track.
The layout of this trailer is super efficient. The back opens up so you can haul equipment, but it converts easily into a living space.
It's also very important to be organized in something like this, especially when you have extremely limited storage space. You really have to be smart about how you pack, and you have to be very realistic about the items you carry. And if you are using the cargo area to transport motorcycles or bicycles, your space is even more limited. But one thing I really like is that you can pop out the side bed without emptying the cargo area, which means that if it's raining or you are worried about leaving motorcycles or bicycles outside, you can keep everything in its place.
You may have to climb over some items to get into the bed, but it's definitely doable and something we took advantage of when we got in late and had to leave early in the morning.
This is a really cool feature, even if it wasn't designed intentionally. I've also thought a lot about what I'd do to improve this trailer and really can't think of anything practical. The toy hauler does not come with a generator, but that's pretty much standard, and our Honda 3200 was more than strong enough to power the air conditioner, Starlink, and charge the house batteries.
My favorite aspects of the trailer is the versatility. It's compact, but yet you can still put motocross bikes in it, and the solar setup makes it easy for off-grid camping.
This trailer is extremely easy to set up. Once you find a camp spot and you satisfy yourself of how level you are, it's a matter of less than 5 minutes to have the pop-out bed open, the awning out, and the steps operational.
For about 20 grand, this is extremely impressive and has all of the essentials. I know a couple people talked about the small bathroom and shower area, but it didn't bother me at all. If the designers made it any larger, they would have had to make the trailer larger to accommodate the motorcycles, and well, the bathroom's not that important to me. The fact that the trailer has a small bathroom and a shower at all is a luxury, and it's a huge win in my book.
The Sunlight trailer tows really well. It's very lightweight, manageable for a mid-size SUV or even a small truck.
I'm one of about a dozen people who tested this trailer and towed it over 1,000 miles. I really enjoyed it. It's very intelligently designed, lightweight, tows well, and the durability is impressive. Every one of us liked it a lot, and it's one of the most impressive trailers in our fleet.
If I could change one thing about this trailer, it might be the bathroom. I understand the manufacturer's challenge of using space efficiently, but the bathroom is just a little bit too small.
The bathroom and shower combination, being a woman, is a little bit small, but I understand when you're building something so compact for efficiency, gotta do things like that. The kitchen in this trailer is pretty functional. It's got a 2-burner stove, a microwave, and plenty of counter space.
You can tell that the designers are hand-on enthusiasts because they built things the way the travelers will use them. Normally we'll see things in a trailer that make us scratch our heads and wonder why the designers didn't move something a fraction of an inch one way or another for improved functionality. But the Sunlight trailer is pretty remarkable.
One of the challenges that we had was with the hitch. Because we have a 35-inch spare tire hanging off the back of the 4Runner and a bunch of other gear, we had to use a hitch extender. This was far from ideal, but since we planned on base camping and not taking the trailer on any serious off-road trails, we found it to be the best compromise. The other option would be to remove all the items off the Expedition 1 bumper and stick them into the already crowded trailer.
For this trailer, I'd say 2 bikes is your sweet spot. You could really fit 1 more in, but you want to make sure that you can put that gear in safely also.
When you do any type of overlanding in a small vehicle, you quickly learn that organization is the key. For us, that meant using black and yellow storage tubs to keep important items like the septic hose, power cords, water line, tools, rubber gloves, and other smaller items. We also used gear bags to hold motorcycle riding gear, and most of the time kept our clothes in bags as well.
It's very intelligently designed, lightweight, tows well, and the durability is impressive. Every one of us liked it a lot, and it's one of the most impressive trailers in our fleet.
For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.
we're back to show you a few of our favorite products that make our lives better on and off the trail. First up, this is the Garmin Zūmo XT2. It's a dedicated motorcycle navigation device. That means no subscriptions, it's just GPS maps. You can download any map for any place. Thing is, it doesn't have comms. So we also like to carry the Garmin inReach Mini 2. This is a dedicated satellite communicator. It has SOS, text, and calls. Now we like this because you can take it anywhere, including off the bike. Well, this doesn't have a subscription. I grew up doing a lot of tent camping. We did a lot of cots. Thing is, they're heavy, they're hard to put together, and they're way too firm. Helinox has taken what's awesome about their chairs and done it to cots. The high cot one is easy to set up with cantilevers, it's packable, and lightweight construction that brings comfort and convenience to cot camping. Lastly, this is the Born Outdoor Sierra Bundle. It's a modern bedroll inspired by tradition, but enhanced by modern materials and manufacturing. It packs a thermarest mattress with custom flannel sheets and a down quilt into a bedroll shell to take great sleep anywhere and set up in minutes. For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.
Michael Ladden is internationally known for his incredible nomad lifestyle and his bright orange Drive the Globe expedition rig. He recently surprised a lot of people when he bought some property in Baja and began hand building a base camp about an hour outside of the famous tourist town, Cabo San Lucas. That's what prompted our Ken Fott to make the trek south to check out his unique compound.
No one has inspired me more with my overlanding adventures than Michael Ladden. The guy just gets it. He's been an incredible resource as I've done more and more overlanding and really want to do it right. I feel fortunate to call him a friend and was excited to add another border crossing to my list for a quick visit. After years of traveling, what prompted you to start building in Mexico?
Man, that's a tough question to answer. To be honest with you, it was totally unexpected. We came here to Todos Santos to learn how to speak Spanish. And coincidentally, a couple friends of mine came here as well. And we just end up buying a piece of property, and here we are.
Can you take us on a tour?
So this property basically is 1,000 square meters, and we divided it into 3 different campsites, if you will. So all 3 of us that went into the property together are nomads, and we've been on the road 6+ years. So we basically put in the infrastructure. We have a 10,000 liter water tank. We shared the cost of putting the septic system in. And then the rest of us, each of us built our own little campsite, if you will. So I and my friend Bert bought 40-foot shipping containers, and Kevin and Brenda down at the end there, they bought a 5th wheel. So we all have our own setups, and that's kind of what, it was economical to do it that way. And nobody really wanted to, spend just tons of money because most of the time we want to still be out exploring on the road.
What are your goals with this compound?
So my goal with having this ranch here is basically having a base of operation south of the border, meaning that from here I can always have a place to return to work on vehicles, to get off the road if I so desire for a little while. But it's perfectly located where I can explore Central and South America from here. And it's a real quick journey to get back to the Western United States. So it's a good base of operation, and you cannot beat the weather. It is perfect here just about 365 days a year. So my personal goal with my space, very similarly to the way that I designed my overland expedition rig, was to create sort of a feng shui environment that I could feel peaceful and relax in. So I focused on tropical plants, nighttime lighting. I put a nice deck, I call it the Mirador del Pacifico, which means, Pacific Ocean lookout on top of my container. And I just wanted to create a space that felt like home, but, that's the bottom line.
So what's life in Mexico like?
So life here in Mexico is a little bit different than the States. You'd be surprised at some of the similarities. However, what I have found is everything takes a little bit more time. You're always looking for something. We spend half of our day. I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was working on a friend's van, and we ended up having to go to 8 different stores to source out some plumbing materials. So you're driving around, you're going back, you realize, oh, we don't have it. Nothing works exactly the same as it does in the States. And we have a little thing, and this is not a criticism of Mexico at all, but we call it the 10-yard line. So like in football, when you're playing and you get to the 10-yard line and you're looking for the touchdown, we joke they never seem to get the touchdown here. That is actually charming because their culture, unlike America, isn't all about acquiring everything, building up a bunch of stuff. You go out to a restaurant on a Friday night, it'll be closed, and you scratch your head, you go, how can they be closed on a Friday night? Well, they made enough money during the week. So they're not necessarily looking to acquire more and more wealth for the sake of doing it. And that is to me, is a charming thing. And we've nicknamed it the 10-yard line, but just about everything you come upon, walk down a sidewalk, you'll say, and all of a sudden there's a big tree in the middle. You can't get anywhere, and you're just like, yeah, it's the 10-yard line. They kind of built the sidewalk, but not totally. So that's life in Mexico in a nutshell.
How has off-road travel changed for you in the last 5 years?
Off-road travel has changed actually quite a bit for me in the last 5 years. Since being on the road full-time, I acquired this motorcycle, and I'll tell you what, I spend a lot more time on 2 wheels than 4 or 6 wheels. I've learned that, and this is no different than, maybe how I used to operate, but I'm a big immersive traveler, right? So I've learned to even do that more so, meaning that I go to a location, I really like to learn everything about where I am. And I tend to linger, and I spend more and more time in places rather than bouncing around each day. And I got to tell you, it's not for everybody, but I love it.
So where do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
The likelihood is I'll probably be building another truck project because I don't think I can stop. In fact, in 10 years from now, I might have done 5 more from today, so who knows. I don't see much changing. People ask me all the time, Mike, are you going to go back to a more traditional lifestyle with a home or whatnot? And I didn't know when I first set foot out on the road. And it was a little scary in the beginning, quite frankly. But after 6+ years now, I don't see that much changing, honestly.
For more information, check out offroadtraveltv.com. We'll see you on the trail.